In 2014, an entire country was uploaded to the internet. 43,000 square kilometers, 4 trillion blocks. Every house, every tree, and every lamppost in Denmark was recreated in Minecraft, 1-to-1. But within days, American flags filled the streets of Copenhagen. But how did an entire country end up inside Minecraft in the first place? In 2014, government geographical data was a nightmare for normal people. Topographic maps, elevation models, building locations, all of it was usually locked behind expensive paywalls or buried in complex professional software that only experts could understand. If you were a regular citizen, a student, or even a teacher who just wanted to explore your own country in 3D, good luck. That's exactly the problem the Danish Geodata Agency, known as GST, wanted to solve. Their mission wasn't to make a video game, it was to make vast amounts of public geodata completely free and open to everyone. But raw data is boring. They needed a way to make it exciting and accessible, especially to kids. So, two guys at the agency, Simon Kockendorf and Torbjorn Nielsen, had a genius idea. What if we put all of Denmark inside Minecraft? Here's how they actually did it. First, they used a technology called LiDAR. Imagine this, planes flying over Denmark, shooting invisible lasers at the ground. Every time a laser bounces back, it measures the exact distance, and after repeating this millions of times, you get a precise 3D scan of the entire country's surface. Every hill, every rooftop, every coastline. But here's the real challenge, converting that massive raw laser data into Minecraft blocks. So, they wrote an automated script that converted real-world measurements into the game scale. 1 meter equals 1 block. But the script wasn't enough. To know if a particular cluster of blocks should be a building, a road, or a forest, they compared it with official government registries. The result? 4 trillion blocks. 1 terabyte of data. The entire Denmark was recreated, 1-to-1. Keep in mind, 1 terabyte in 2014 didn't just push the limits of Minecraft, it pushed the limits of the internet itself. For the first time in history, an entire nation existed as a fully interactive, explorable 3D world inside a video game. The Danish government made one small mistake. To prevent vandalism, the Geodata Agency had disabled TNT and fire across the entire server. On paper, it sounded smart. The map was supposed to be educational, not a battlefield. But developers at the Geodata Agency missed one small quirk in Minecraft's code. While standard TNT is treated as a block, TNT inside a minecart is treated as an entity, a moving object with its own set of rules. The government security wall had a massive glaring hole in it, and the internet found the loophole almost immediately. Within days, it went viral on forums like Reddit. Thousands of players, mostly from the US, began pouring into the server. While the servers were technically capped at 70 players, the waiting room and download traffic were massive. Over 37,000 unique users logged in during the first month, and the map was downloaded 300,000 times. Because the map was a 1-to-1 real-world replica, anyone could simply open Google Maps and find the real-world coordinates of a famous Danish landmark. Then, players would convert it into Minecraft coordinates and teleport there directly. Their goal? Pure chaos. Giant American flags made of wool started appearing all over Copenhagen. Massive USA signs towered over the city's skyline. But players didn't stop at flags. They built blocky military tanks that dominated the streets like an invading army. By using the minecart dynamite trick, players targeted the most iconic buildings. The Danish royal palace was reduced to rubble, while the Copenhagen Opera House was blown up to bits. What was meant to be a peaceful project became a war zone of exploding minecarts and giant craters. The Geodata Agency was genuinely surprised. However, Chief Press Officer Chris Hamilton issued a statement no one had expected. He didn't denounce the invaders as criminals, but calmly remarked that this was simply the nature of Minecraft. The Danish Geodata Agency didn't panic, nor did they shut down the entire server in embarrassment. Instead, they reset only the worst damaged areas, mainly parts of Copenhagen. Then, they invited the global Minecraft community to step in and help. They filled in the giant craters with dirt and grass blocks, rebuilt destroyed landmarks, and even added their own creative touches. The ultimate irony? The Danish government had used taxpayer money to create this beautiful, educational tool for their citizens. But the wholesome government experiment had collided head-on with the reality of the internet. And the internet won. But here's where the story gets really interesting. The Danish government's relaxed response didn't just save the project, it accidentally proposed an entirely new idea, that a video game could be a serious tool for education, urban planning, as well as public engagement with science. And other governments were watching. The UK, for instance, already had a similar project. The OS, the government body responsible for mapping Great Britain, had already released their own official Minecraft map, but they made a different technical choice. While Denmark used an uncompromising true scale, 1 block equals 1 meter, the UK scaled theirs down to 1 block equals 50 meters. The result was a map that started at 22 billion blocks and eventually expanded to over 100 billion. They managed to recreate a country that's 6 times larger with a fraction of the file size. Japan followed with something even more specific. In May 2025, the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism (MLIT) released an official recreation of Tokyo's underground flood diversion facility. It was one of the largest civil engineering projects on Earth. However, it was almost completely invisible to the public because it was underground. But in Minecraft, anyone could walk through it, understand its inner workings, and see how it's the guardian of Tokyo. South Korea took an entirely different angle. During the COVID-19 pandemic, President Moon Jae-in released an official Minecraft map of the Blue House, South Korea's version of the White House. This allowed children who couldn't visit in person to explore it virtually for Children's Day in 2020. Many countries were inspired by the template Denmark had accidentally invented, but their legacy goes much deeper than virtual tourism. Engineers in low-lying countries such as the Netherlands and Finland now use these one-to-one digital maps to run flood simulations. They can model exactly where water would flow during a major storm, identify the weakest points in their defenses, and test solutions, all before spending a single euro on construction. Meanwhile, urban planners in Sweden took it even further. Instead of presenting citizens with technical blueprints for a new park or city square, they started letting people walk through the blueprints inside Minecraft. Anyone could move buildings around, reshape streets, and give feedback. An entire country was uploaded to the internet. It was invaded, destroyed, and rebuilt by strangers, people who have never been to Denmark. And somehow, that was exactly the point.